Hey there, welcome to the O7 Academy, where interest in computer is our goal. Now, in our today's video, we'll be looking at operations in JavaScript. So, we'll be looking at the different operations we have in JavaScript. So, we're just going to open our editor, and after that, we'll be creating an HTML file and also a JavaScript file. So, we'll have a separate JavaScript file in this video. Alright, so we have this. So we're going to be creating the two files, new file. So we'll call this b.html. Okay, and then we'll be creating a JavaScript file, well, depending on any name we want to choose. So we're using same name to link it up with our HTML, well, depending on the name you love to use for your JS file name. So pick this b.html and b.js, as you can see over here. And as you can see, the logo confirming that it's a JavaScript file, and the logo of the HTML confirming it's an HTML file. So what we'll be doing today, we'll just come over to our HTML file, and just in our HTML file, as we have been doing with our CSS, we'll be linking our JS file. So we'll be linking it using a script tag. Why? Just because JavaScript is actually a scripting language. So we're just going to type in our script. So we're going to tap the second one, which is asking for the source. So we're just going to call this just the source we're using. So we're going to call this b.js, as you can see at the bottom, b.js. I'll write it. So right after being linking it, so we are just going to come over to our JavaScript file. And in our JavaScript file, we'll be opening the b.js. So, like I said, we'll be looking at operations in JavaScript. So the first operation we'll be looking at is the arithmetic operation. So what do we have about the arithmetic operation? Well, the arithmetic operation is not that hard. It's just we have the plus, the minus, the divide, exponential, and different arithmetic signs. That's how to do with mathematical solvings, and so we can actually do this in JavaScript. So we can actually come here and we have something like let, because we're actually using the let keyword now for a variable, naming a variable. Like I said, we have three types of variable. We have the var, the const, and the let. But here we're actually going to be using the let, because it's actually the most used, and also to avoid, to bring down simplicity, and well, whatever you love using suits your needs. So we're just going to name a variable here, which is a. That's the name of the variable, and we'll be giving it a number. I'll say 5, 6. So one of the way we can actually do this is we have our 6, and we're just going to use plus one of the arithmetic signs, and we're going to do plus 6, and we're going to cover this. So we're just going to cover it. So we're just going to come over to our HTML file to actually see what we have in our console log. So as you can see, we actually have nothing in our console log. That was because JavaScript just has to do with logic and instructions. It just has to follow basic instruction. So for the part of the instruction we give it to it, we actually give it an instruction of a is equals to 6 plus 6, which is 12. But we didn't give it an instruction of where it was going to display this the value of a. So we're just going to come over here and we're going to console log this. So we're going to log it. So we'll just use the keyword, which is console dot log, and everything should actually start from um the lowercase alphabet, because JavaScript is actually working with camel case alphabet. So anything you do, you actually start it. Anything in JavaScript, you actually start it with uh a lowercase alphabet except in some situation actually. So we're going to console log this our variable to actually see what we have here. So we're checking this in our console log. So we just go to our HTML file and heading straight to our preview. As you can see over here, we actually have 12. Well, in the norm, JavaScript was supposed to like input it as 6 plus 6, but being that it has run this calculation and it's saying that 6 plus 6 actually equal 12, so that's why it's actually giving this. That's JavaScript is actually run arithmetic operations. But what if we actually put this in a string? What happens? So if we're going to put this all of it in a string, so we're going to have something like this. First of all, I'm putting a closing string and I'm going to open it over here. Okay, so let's see what we have, if this is actually a string or it's a okay. Before that, we're going to console log something, console log. So to actually see, I'm going to doing everything at once. Console log. Okay, type of a, if actually a is actually going to be a number or it's going to be a string. So let's just check it out. So in our preview, as you can see over here, it's actually not a number, it's a string. Why? Because it's been imputed in a string form. But we also have something here. As you can see, the type of string and what have you. So we also have something here. What if I put each of them in a string? For instance, I have this and I just come over here and put this and I come over here and I actually put in this. Okay. So what is this actually? Is it actually a number? Is it going to, one with some of this, is it going to give us a number or what is it going to give us? So in checking of this, one put, so when we open this, as you can see over here, we have this at 66. So why is it giving us 66? Because apart from adding just numbers, that's adding just numbers to actually give us a result. For instance, as the first example, 6 plus 6 actually give us 12. JavaScript, seeing being that each of them is a string, it also add the plus sign or the addition arithmetic symbol. It also add these two together, different string together. As you can see, it's displayed as a string, but we also have something like 66. That's because it's adding them together. So these are we can use the arithmetic sign. You can use it for both string and we can use it for number, and also arrays, which I'm going to be talking about in our subsequent videos. So alright, we're just going to come over to our b.js, and so we also have another one. So I'll be removing this. So we're working with, most of it will be numbers on this video. So we also have the minus 8. So we also have this. So we just come over here and when we run our preview, we have this to be -2 and we have the type of to be number. So we already have that and we know how these things work using times, divide, and for exponential we can also use exponential to be, for instance, I want to 2 raised to the power 2, sorry, 2 raised to the power 2. Well, JavaScript has a way of actually doing this. So for doing this, actually it will be times, you put the multiplication times twice and raise to whatever number you want to do. And when we open it over, as you can see over here, we have 4, meaning 2 raised to the power 2, that is 2 times 2. And when we do raised to the power 3, we have it to be 2 times 2 times 2 times, that's 8. So when we come to our preview to actually check what we have it to be 8. So that's exponential and all of this. So we already have this. So we already know about the arithmetic operation, that the arithmetic operation based on using the plus sign used to add both strings and number together. And we've also see us use other operations. So what if, so I'll be doing this last in the arithmetic position. I'll be doing this last in the arithmetic operation. So I put this as a string here, and I put this as a string here, and this as a string, and making it a string. So I'm gonna put it times in the middle. So what do you think we'll actually have? So when we come over here in our preview, we have this to be 6. So we have this to be 6. That is 2 times 3, 6. But being a string, that is where actually JavaScript actually has a fun way of actually doing this. So it actually recognizes it as a number but in a string form. So it's actually multiplied it, and based on, it's going to actually give us a string based on when the number is being given. So we have it to be 6 and all of that, being recognizing it. So that is that. And what if we have a minus sign here, a minus here? So as you can see, -1, and there we have it to be. But what if we have something like an A? For example, I'm using an alphabet now. We're not using numbers. So actually make it a full string. So just come over here and we'll see what we have. As you can see, NaN. This means that you're actually using a minus sign for an alphabet, not for a number. That is, when it detects the string, it sees that the string actually does not contain a number. So it's actually showing that to tell you that what you are trying to do is not actually possible using the arithmetic symbol. But as for plus, you can actually use plus for to assign both this both string together. You can use to attach, and you see AB. As you can see over here, AB, and return it as a string. But this is only applicable just for the plus sign, and for the rest it will actually detect it as number and what have you. So we'll be moving on to our next arithmetic operation, sorry, our next operation, which is the assignment operation. Now, one of the most popular assignment operation is what I showed you in the first place. It's actually the equals to, because it's actually used to assign a value to a value to a variable. Like you can see here, equals to. So I can come here and just put the O7 Academy. Sorry about that. Just come here and put the O7 Academy, and I'll just lock it over here using our colon, semicolon. So as we have over here, so we're actually assigning a variable called the O7 Academy to an A, and we're not just doing that anyhow. We're actually using the equal to sign to be able to assign that variable. So we have over here, sorry, we didn't console log that. So I'm just going to come over here. I'm going to console log that. Console dot log, and we have this to be, so even in the console dot log we can also put a string in it. So we can actually have this to, because when you put this, it's actually identify that this is a string, so it's going to return it as a string in the console dot log. So I'm going to put what's up here, and I'm going to assign this using our plus sign, as I said earlier, plus. Then I'm going to add that A. So A is not just its value. A, the O7 Academy is being assigned to A using the equal to sign to actually work simplicity. So I just need to come to our b.html and run this in our preview. So in our preview, we have this to be what's up the O7 Academy. So that's that, being able to assign and using the assignment protocol. Quite interesting though. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to change this to hey O7 Academy, and I'm going to put a space here. Okay, we already have a space over here. That's why you can actually see that space in there. But if there's no space, it will actually be joined together. So I'm actually going to come here and I'll be doing something. So actually, we know that the A, it's been assigned, the O7 academy is being assigned to A. So I can also come here and say B is equal to A. Now, what does that mean? I can come here, instead of me putting A actually, I can actually come here and I'll put B. Why? Okay, let's come to our preview to check what we have in our preview. So in our preview, we have something like hey, okay, I could have added space to that one. So we have something like hey, the whole 7 academy. So how is that even possible? That's because we have it that the whole 7 academy is being assigned to A, which I've said earlier, and we have it that that A is being assigned to another variable called B. So possibility is that B is equals to A is equals to O7 academy, and all of that, meaning they are all the same thing. But we also have, of all these signs, we have what we call this assignment operation. We have what we call the equal to, we have what we call the plus equal to and minus equal to, and also have what we call strictly equal to and not strictly equal to. So what do I mean by all those, by all of that? So I can come over here and so we have something like B. So I will be removing this. I'm moving this over here. So in here, B is equals to, what do we have here? So B is equals to, so I'm doing that B is equals to plus, I'll be putting a plus in the front, plus, and I'll put this here. Hey, so what does this mean actually? That it actually adding this to the O7 academy. So when we come to our preview, okay, we have this to be NaN actually, because it's actually reading it as, it's supposed to read it as a number though, but it's not possible because actually this is actually supposed to be a number. So it being a number is that using this as a number, so we're going to do this as here to be 5 and here to be 8. So we're removing this actually. So we're working with both an assignment and an arithmetic operation. So when we have something like this, so when we check for the value of B, meaning that B is equals to plus minus B is equals to plus, okay, we're actually having a problem here. This is not actually supposed to be B. Okay, first of all, I'm just going to come over here and B is equals to A, because anything you have to be doing, you have to be very careful of what you are doing. So what we have actually done here is that B is equals to A, meaning that when B is equals to A, B is also equal to 9. So as B is equal to 9, so we have it to be B is equal to plus 5, meaning 9 plus 5. So we're going to have something like 4. So in our preview, you can see, okay, 5, 5. We're seeing 5. As we can have here, B is equals to plus 5. B is equals to A. So, alright, we also have, so what we're going to be doing is that we'll be removing the strings to make them become numbers. So, alright, we already have this, B is equals to, so I'm just going to come over here and we also have 5. We're going to come over again and we're going to be doing, we're going to put the plus sign just before the equal to. So when we do that, actually, let's see what we have in our preview over first of all. So we have this to be 14. As you can see, this operation, they have to be used very, very well and concise. So actually when we did this was that we're actually adding, we have B to be 9 first of all, so plus and equal to 5. So when this operation actually happens, it actually gives us 14, and we actually have the math. So that's how it works. So thank you once again for watching. I would love to see you in our next video, and God bless you.